Okay, for this project, we're going to do a winter evergreen painting, and we're going to start by doing the background. And we're going to focus on some color combination using our color wheel. And you can choose a couple different ones, but you need to think about colors that mix well together. For instance, you can do a warm color scheme, which would be the yellows, the oranges to the reds. Or you could choose a cool color scheme, which would be like to the yellow greens, greens to the blues. You just need to think about colors and how they would mix together, because we're going to do the background, which is going to be the sky early in the evening or in the morning. So you want to think about colors and how they mix, because you're going to start with a light color and you're either going to mix it one direction or you're going to mix it the other direction. So I'm going to start here and going to mix it this way. So I'm going to start with the yellow, and when we mix our colors, our watercolors, we always load the color and then paint from the puddle. So these are the basic colors that we have, and I'll zoom in a little bit. And so when you load, you just make sure you get water so you have a puddle to paint from. And I've already loaded these because I've been painting with them for a while. So I'm going to start, like I said, I'm going to start with the light color of yellow, and then I'm just going to slowly mix in the green to the blue to the purple as I move around. And this is going to be quick because when you use watercolor, you mix as it's wet. So I'm going to start in the middle with a little bit of yellow, and then on the edge, I'm going to get it wet, where I'm going to mix it to the next color, which is going to be the green. So I'm going to go with this edge here, and as it mixes where I got it wet, it's going to blend with that yellow. I'm not going to so much blend it because it'll actually blend itself. If it wasn't blending so much, you can go in with a little bit of water right where they touch and go over it, and it'll start to mix. So where I want it to mix with the blue, I'm going to go over just that edge with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to go with my next color, which is the blue. So I'm going to go out here with my next color of blue. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a bigger edge of blue. And this isn't going to be realistic. This is going to be more of a color picture as opposed to a realism picture. And I want this to kind of mix a little bit here, so I'm going to go over it again just with water to kind of mix these two together here. And on this edge where I want my purple to mix with my blue, I'm just going over with some water. And I could fade out my blue, or I could go in with the next color. Like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of purple here. And my paper, usually with watercolor you would tape down, but mine is actually not taped down. So it's going to arch a little bit, which is going to actually make it look like it has a horizon line in the middle, because my paint is going to start to kind of stretch a little here. It might, it may not, it might be dry enough. And then we're just going to let this set and dry. Now, I have another one over here that I've already started and dry that I showed you earlier. Then I'm going to go over the next step. Now, the next step is going to be our evergreens. So once our backgrounds are dry, so here's our one that I did earlier, we're going to do some evergreens. And we're going to take some black acrylic paint. Now this isn't watercolor paint, this is acrylic paint, which is a permanent paint. And you guys are going to get a flatter brush, and you're going to make some evergreen silhouettes. And evergreens are the trees you see in the winter, and they're pretty basic. You're going to choose, maybe, I have enough room on this one to maybe do a tall one and maybe a shorter one. And this is going to be the branch. And these are the trees, you know, your Christmas trees. And you kind of see them, and they get thinner. See, and I'm kind of just going And you need to do more blotting. I need more, but they get thick. They are thin at the top and they get thicker as they go to the bottom. And I need to fit my branch. Okay, so this one's gonna be shorter, like I said. Maybe make it a little bit, they can overlap. And sometimes they can be thinner. And so this would be my trees. I feel like this one is a little fuller, so maybe make it like it has more branches, or maybe it wasn't as bare as the other one. Okay, so once we have our trees like this, then I'm going to have a box and some white paint and a brush, and we're going to do a little bit of splatter so it's contained into the box so that we won't get paint all over the place, and then it'll be almost like a snowy forest scene. So that is our next watercolor color theory project.